I'm Janice Parker, one of the school counselors at Los Altos High School and also the counseling department coordinator. Tonight, we are super excited. We are hearing from Leo Villalobos from West Valley College, and he's going to be talking to us about the community college pathway as well as transfer pathways. This is going to be a West Valley College specific presentation. However, there are some things that will translate well despite wherever your student decides to attend for community college, if that is where they're planning to go. West Valley, if you have a chance to go and visit, it's a gorgeous campus. It's really close by. So I'm gonna let Leo take it away.
Great, thank you. So yes, so a lot of the information can translate to other campuses or other schools within the community college system. But yeah, a lot of it will be specific to West Valley, but let's just get started. So what I'll be covering today will be the transfer and career pathway opportunities for your students, how you can take advantage of free tuition opportunities in our system, activities and support systems, as well as some upcoming events. I was mentioned earlier. West Valley College is a beautiful campus, so definitely it makes worth a visit. So transfer pathways. So your students have many different options after high school. Should they decide to come to West Valley College or any community college, then after that they can transfer to many different systems. So they can go to a CSU, for example, with California State University system, the University of California system. They can maybe choose to transfer out of state public schools. They can also choose to transfer to our private colleges or even international colleges. So there are many different opportunities for students, really depending on what they want to do. But the traditional preparation to transfer, the student comes to a college like West Valley College, and the first 2 years will look something like this. They'll have to take some GE requirements, so that's usually general education requirement. So math, English, science, sort of the same things that they would do at high school. Then they'll take some major requirements. So that has something to do more with their actual major or choice of career. And then elective courses. So that could be many different elective courses that students can take advantage of. So most students will kind of take a mix of the different classes throughout the years. But one thing I would highly recommend for any student, whether they go to a community college, 4-year school, private, public, does not matter what institution, the very first semester, the student should take a class that has to do with the class or the major that they're interested in. So if it's business, they should check out intro to business class. If it's like administration and justice, they should do the same. And the reason why is sometimes students don't know or think they know that they want to go into a major, and they end up like not liking it, but they don't find it out until later in their career. So the earliest possible that they can take classes that have to do with their major will be a great asset to them in their exploration to figure out, okay, this is really the career that I want to choose. So that will be one piece of advice for students that are considering entering into college is like your very first class, very first semester, take a class that has to do with your major. But unfortunately, most students don't know what they want to study, right? So undeclared is a very popular major. But if you even have an inkling of a particular career, you definitely want to take an opportunity to take a class that's intro to that major or that field. If you choose to go to a CSU, there are many different opportunities. There's 23 campuses, countless number of majors. But the biggest thing would also be working closely with your counselors at the college to make sure that you are meeting the requirements. It gets a little bit more complicated once you leave high school. So when transferring out of community college, you have to make sure that you are taking the right classes, that you are meeting the GPA requirements, because some of the programs will be different. So you want to take into account those differences as you are doing your planning. So start early and start building a relationship with the counselor, just like you have at your high schools. The great thing about the CSU system, in the past, you had to choose between getting an associate's degree or transferring, right? But now there's many opportunities where students can do both at the same time. So you can get your associate degree and also prepare for transfer. And that's what's called an associate degree for transfer. Typically, it's about 60 units to complete the community college. And then when you transfer to the CSU, then you complete the remaining 60 units. Doing this helps you boost your GPA for admission purposes. And also, there is a commitment that once you transfer from the community college to that 4-year school, there are guarantee that you will graduate from that CSU within 2 years, which is a great thing, right? There are limited programs, so not every single major can be done as a associate degree for transfer or ADT. So you want to do your homework and figure out if what you're interested in is one of those participating programs in the ADT. So that way you have a guaranteed transfer, right? As long as you meet the requirements. So for example, here at West Valley College, we are one of the colleges with the most ADTs. We have 30 different options, ranging from administration of justice to music to Spanish to public health science to business administration. And if you're wondering what those asterisks mean, so for example, our most popular majors here for ADTs are administration of justice, business administration, communication studies, and psychology, as well as kinesiology. And the ones at the bottom, law, public policy and society, child and adolescent development, as well as film and television, those are some of the newer programs that we have as an ABT. Now, let's say you're interested in transferring to the California system, the University of California system. Right? So same thing, you have about 60 units to complete. Most of our students that are in I'm transferring, or our top 5 transfers, are to Berkeley, Santa Cruz, UCLA, Davis, and Santa Barbara. They also have a program called the UC Transfer Admissions Guarantee, or TAG. And this program is available, unfortunately, only at 6 campuses. So that would be Davis, Santa Barbara, Santa Cruz, Merced, Irvine, and Riverside. This one also gets a little bit more specific. So for example, depending on your major, it might be a higher GPA. So if you were interested in going to UC Davis for engineering, you must have at least a 3.5 to apply for the TAG transfer. But if you're looking into psychology, that's only a 3.2. So you definitely want to do your homework. And the reason why, for example, Berkeley, UCLA, and San Diego do not participate in this, as you know, they have way too many students applying, they don't have the room to be able to guarantee admissions. The tag is also a guarantee, so if you meet the requirements, you'll have a spot. You do have to complete at least 30 units before you can apply for tag. So you have to at least have completed 1 year before you can be considered to apply for tag. There is a huge commitment from the UC system for students that are coming from the community college. So 1 out of 3 new students that are now at a UC campus started first at a community college. So that's about 33%. So that's 1/3. That's a huge number. So there is a very high chance of your student getting into a UC campus if they start at a community college as well. Sometimes even better than if they had applied directly from high school. But if your student's interested in maybe going to out of state, out of country, private universities, we had a couple of students actually that transferred to universities in Japan. So there are many options for students to transfer. They don't have to be restricted to just the CSU system or the UC system. Are there any questions? We probably can have questions towards the end, so I'm just gonna. But let's say your student's not necessarily interested in having a long educational career and going to get in a bachelor's or master's degree, but they want to have also they want to have some college education, but they don't want to spend too much time, and they want to have a livable wage. Right? So here at our college, we have many different opportunities for them to get certificates or associate degrees that are more like short-term careers. So these will be anywhere from a year to 2 years or less. So for example, at the School of Professional Studies that we have opportunities in park management, and that's a very unique program. That's the only program that we have. And one really cool thing about this program that I really love is when students graduate from the program and they get the certificates, they don't get a traditional cap and gown. They get instead of the cap, they get an actual like ranger hat, which is pretty cool. I really like that. So it's one of like the nice perks of that program. But that program focuses obviously in park management. So if you're interested in working with the Forest Service or local counties or cities and their park management departments, that would be a great way to kind of get your foot in the door. Child studies, if you're looking to work with like younger kids. Administration of justice at all levels. So it could be from paralegal to going into law enforcement, to law, also real estate if you're looking to get your real estate license. Now, one thing that I'll remind you about this, because I get a call almost at least once per semester. So these courses prepare you to take the exam. Once you take the exam, then you get the certification. But the certification to become a real estate, that comes from the state. It does not come from West Valley College. So I often get calls from people asking me, how can I get my certificate? And I always have to refer them back to the state agency that administers the real estate licenses. So just an FYI, okay, West Valley does not issue the real estate certificate. That's the state. We just provide the classes so you can successfully pass the courses, the exam. And also business administration. So there are many different opportunities. We also have an entrepreneurship center and different opportunities for internship for students. So if they're interested in business administration, that's another great way to kind of get a preview on that, and they can find different ways that they can go into a career in business. But if your student is more interested in maybe like art and design, our School of Art and Design has many different opportunities as well and certificates in fashion design, interior design, commercial music, architecture, animation. And commercial music is like what you will see maybe in commercials or movie productions or theaters. Like there are a lot of opportunities and a lot of great ways that students can show their creative side in the college. If they're more into health and human development, they can also find pathways to become medical assistants, medical office receptionist, or a personal trainer, as well as Pilates instructor. So there are many different opportunities in a lot of different fields. And again, these are all short-term certificates, so they can range again anywhere from a year to 2 years. One of the great things that we have going on at our college, and many other colleges are following suit or are doing the same thing, is we have pretty much free tuition for a lot of opportunities, right? So one of the newest things that we have is our free tuition for in-resident students. So if you live within the West Valley College Mission Service area, which is Los Gatos, Saratoga, Campbell, Santa Clara, parts of Sunnyvale, and Alviso, then you could potentially get 2 years free tuition here at West Valley College. There are a couple of requirements that you have to complete. So that's, for example, filling out the financial aid application, whether it's the FAFSA or the California Dream Act, be a California resident or be eligible for California residency via AB 540, and that you intend to work on a degree or credit level certificate at one of our colleges. So you can either be here at West Valley College or our sister college, which is Mission. But that's just one opportunity. That's just one bucket of money that we have available. Students that do not live in our service area can also potentially apply for what we call our community grant. And that's specifically for high school graduates. So if your student's graduating this year, this June, they can come to West Valley College and attend for you 2 years free tuition. That gives you not only money for tuition, but you may also be able to get financial aid money for textbooks and additional support for other college-related costs. And those are also just another bucket of money. You can also apply for other grants that you may be able to get through like the FAFSA or other state funded. So there are many opportunities for you to be able to get free tuition, whether you live in our service area or not. So community college life, there are many ways for students to get involved outside of the classroom. And also we have, for example, athletics. So sports are a big thing for us here on campus. Our basketball team, our men's basketball team just got the state championship. Not only did they get the championship, they went undefeated. So they went 33-0. So it was amazing. It was great to see that they went a whole season without losing a single game. And then they ended up with this state championship. Our water polo is also one of our great, very strong teams for both men and women. But there are many different other opportunities. So we also have soccer, we have softball, swimming, and our facilities are top notch. So if you have not seen our new stadiums for baseball and softball, you definitely want to check them out. And then we have many other great opportunities for students, as well as our, water polo and swimming facilities are awesome as well. But if your students are more interested in like clubs and activities, there are many different clubs that they can participate, as well as if we don't have a club that your students are interested in, they can get together with 5 other friends and they can begin their own club and they can have their own meetings. And that looks great also on their resume when they're applying to transfer or for scholarships or things like that. So showing leadership is a great way for students to also, get involved on campus. Another great resource that we have for all students here on campus is we have many different support programs that can benefit the students. If your student happens to have an IEP or a 504 plan in high school, you can actually transfer that over to our DESP office, which helps the students that may have a physical or some otherwise disability, that you can get accommodation, support, anything that you need to help you successful in your classes. So that's a great way for students to get the support they need to be able to have a successful experience here at West Valley College. We also have programs like EOPS, TRIO, and MESA that work with students that will be considered first-generation college students or students that are considered to be low income or income limited. And we also have free tutoring for everyone. You can access tutoring pretty much 7 days a week, and that's free for our students. And they subject primarily, they teach primarily support with all of our core classes, so English, math, science. They also help you with scholarship essays and a bunch of other things. So tutoring, again, it's a great resource, and you can do it in person or on Zoom. So you have that access. And like I said, we also even offer tutoring on Saturday and Sunday, so students have full access to support. We have counseling. both for academic counseling as well as mental health counseling. And again, a lot of community colleges offer a lot of these great things. So you definitely want to do some research and see the school that you choose to attend will have a lot of these support system. We also offer free laptops for students that may need it. They can borrow it for the whole time that they're here, as well as hotspots. We also have learning communities. So we have the Puente Latinx Focus. So it has with the Latinx Focus, the Umoja first year experience and the Honors UCLA TAP program. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. But Puente, Umoja, and first year experience students are put into cohorts of about 25 students, and they will be together the very first year. So they'll take classes together, they'll take a counseling class together, they'll have a dedicated counselor. So that's a great way for students to make friends, meet other people, and be successful and continue and set themselves for a strong year and continue on after that. If your student's really interested, and let's say UCLA is the school that you want to transfer to, and that was the ultimate goal to do was UCLA. So on honor program, it doesn't guarantee that you will get into UCLA, but it does give you a better opportunity to get in. You will have, annotation on your transcript if you were part of the honors program, and it gives you a little bit further consideration when you're applying to UCLA. So we had a pretty large group of students get into UCLA last spring. So this was in 2023. So this program has been very successful in getting students into top-notch universities. So definitely want to consider that. Whether you come to West Valley College, a lot of programs have those opportunities, but we are the only community college that has this type program with UCLA in the area. So that's another great plus of coming to West Valley. So if you are a senior now, or you have a senior in high school now, or you will be having a senior next year, this is kind of the time to start thinking about, okay, well, what am I going to do after high school? But our application for fall semester is already open, so you can already submit the admissions application for West Valley College. If you haven't done so already, complete your FAFSA or California Trademark application, and then attend orientation. So our orientations for the college, we have a whole series of early admissions orientations, and I highly recommend that you do this, whether you come to West Valley College or any school, that you do the early orientations, because that day you come in, you meet with a counselor, you work on your ed plan, you register for classes, you make sure that your financial aid is completed, and then you can enjoy the rest of the summer. So we're going to start our applications or our early admissions orientations starting next month. So April 18 will be the first one. And you can find all this information on our website, but that would be a great way for you to kind of get ready and get ahead. And then register for classes. So it's a one-day thing. You come in for 5 hours and you leave with everything already set. So it's a great deal for students to come in. But the very first step is to apply. So, and it does take about 48 hours for your application during the process. So apply early, apply on time. If your student waits until like end of July, early August, more classes are already going to be picked out. It's going to be hard to have like an ideal schedule. So the earlier you do it, the better. If you haven't had a chance to check out West Valley College, we're going to have our open house April 20th. So about a month from now. It will be from 9:30 to 12. We're going to have a lot of opportunities for you to meet with all of our different departments. So everybody will be here, all of our schools, all of our different departments will be represented. So math, science, English, ESL, everybody will be there. So you definitely want, and we'll have, some of our great famous burritos, as well as a bunch of other food and prices and things like that. So it's a great time. Mark it on your calendars. Will be Saturday, April 20th, 9:30 to 12 p.m. Free parking. You can get a campus tour. We have a brand new planetarium. We have a brand new art building. So there's a lot of opportunities for you to come check out. So, see you there. If you have any questions after tonight or something wasn't clear, this is my email. Feel free to send me an email. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. But yeah, so that's in a nutshell, like kind of the transfer pathway. There are many different opportunities. One of the things that we're also very happy to offer for students outside of the classroom, we also have study abroad opportunities. So for example, students that want to go to another country and study and get that experience, oftentimes they think that they can only do that at four-year school. No, like West Valley actually offers that opportunity. So if your students were interested in traveling to other countries and learn more about their cultures and, and get credit for it, something that you could definitely do. I took a group of students to the Dominican Republic last summer. This summer, they are going to Austria as well as Paris. And they're also going to take a group of students to London. So there's definitely a lot of opportunities for students to study abroad at a community college. And I'm sure other community colleges do that, but this is what we have done for West Valley. Are there any questions about the process to transfer? or in general. We definitely have some. We have about 10 minutes for Q&A. If anybody has any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer any questions.
Hi, I have a question. Can you hear
Yes.
me?
Yes.
So it sounds like there are multiple different options. How early do you need to start to focus on one of those, either transfer options or, just getting the AA degree?
So the earlier the better. So it would be super important that as soon as you begin the journey, you are connected with a counselor. We have many different opportunities for you to connect with a counselor. We have a counselor for the transfer center. We also have embedded counselors. So if your student decides to start maybe in business, we have an embedded counselor that focuses with the students that are business students, or that fall within that same range. So the earlier the better. When you come and to one of our early admissions orientations, you'll get set up with an educational plan, which basically is your whole list of courses that you would take in order for you to complete whatever plan that may be. And that can always be adjusted. So if, for example, you want to first start and you wanted to start with doing an associate's degree, but then you change your mind and you want to do an associate's degree and transfer, they can also be adjusted. So that won't be an impediment. So you can definitely move as fast as you want or as slow as you want. But my suggestions would be the sooner the better. We really want students to transfer within 2.5 to 3 years max, but that can only happen if you are in close communication with counselors, making sure that the classes that you're taking are the correct ones and that they're going to transfer to the institution that you are going to transfer to. And one piece of advice, again, whether you come to West Valley College or any other college, if your student's transferring to a 4-year school that is a private university or a 2-year school that is a private university, especially out of state, make sure they are saving their syllabi. Oftentimes they will ask for it when you are transferring credit. And I get calls all the time from students that transfer and they need a copy of the school won't just take the transcript. They'll want to see what the curriculum was covered in that particular class. So have your students save their syllabi every semester because they will need them, most likely will need it if they transfer to a private school. All
I
right.
have a question.
Yes.
So it sounds like that so I have a junior, not a senior. It sounds like when they start their time at junior college, that they should already know what college they want to transfer to.
Well, not necessarily. They can start working on planning to transfer to multiple systems at the same time. So usually there's a sequence of courses called the IGETC. So is the intersegmental, I always forget what the acronym means, but it's basically a list of courses that can help you transfer to both the CSU or the UC. There are a few key differences that you want to keep in mind. So again, having that close relationship with the counselor will be really key in making sure that you are kind of like putting not just putting all your eggs in one basket, but you can work with like applying to the CSUs, Cal State, and your privates to transfer at the same time. So you're not gonna have to be necessarily just relegated to like, oh, I can only transfer to a CSU or I can only transfer to a UC. Oftentimes students will work on transferring to either one of those so that when it comes time, they'll apply to the CSU, the UCs, as well as the private colleges. And then at the end, they'll decide whether they want to go after they get the decisions of admissions from those schools that they apply. If you have a junior, students can already start taking classes too. So you can also help the students out or they can help themselves out by taking classes early through concurrent enrollment or dual enrollment. And they could do that with any college. They could do it with West Valley. They could do it with the outside new school. And those are college credit. So obviously, they have to pass it, but the students will be able to complete general education courses. So that saves them time too. And they can start as early as 10th grade. And we're actually moving as West Valley. So if you have younger students, soon we'll be able to offer the opportunity for students that are as early as 9th grade. You can start taking college classes and start getting some of those GE courses out of the way so you can save time and graduate earlier.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Any other questions?
Can I ask a follow-up question?
Yes.
Based off of the students who may not know exactly where they want to transfer to after attending community college, are there things that the transfer center does to encourage them or to expose them to some other opportunities?
Yeah, so we have a couple of college transfer fairs every semester. There's also various workshops, and we always have campuses coming into our school for universities to table and talk to students about the opportunities. So there are, and also we have a whole career week that also comes with different opportunities for them to connect with employers and different opportunities to learn more about different fields or different opportunities so the students can explore more. And we're working also on beefing up more of our career services as well, you know, as career that will give you more opportunities to do internships because now like internships are becoming kind of like the entry level jobs now. So we have many different opportunities for students to also do internship as well as research within the college. So that will be a great way for them to start kind of getting an idea where they want to transfer to is by talking to our transfer center and exploring what options they have and understanding that there might be key differences that they need to know to be able to complete the sequences. Are there any other questions about the transfer pathway? Like I said, the earlier you start, the better. It will save you tons of headaches if you're able to complete the application and register for classes. Because the earlier you start, you'll have a fresh pick at every courses. You can create your ideal schedule, especially if the students are planning to work while going to school. That really gives them an edge in being able to have a schedule that works for, or they're involved in like sports or they have other activities. Having an opportunity to create your schedule early on will definitely help out creating that ideal schedule. And another thing that I mentioned also about the study abroad program, most of our students are able to get a 50% scholarship. So we cover about 50% of the cost. So students can participate and be able to go on to these great opportunities without having to pay too much out of it, out of their pocket.
You mentioned your service area. You said Los Altos, but not Mountain View. Is that?
So I don't think Mountain View is sort of parts of Sunnyvale, Los Gatos, not Los Altos, sorry, Los Gatos. So I think your students, but as a high school graduate, you're able to be considered for our community grant. So students that are high school graduates and enrolled in our school will be able to get 2 years free tuition. So don't worry about not being in the service area. There are many other opportunities that students can still get free tuition even if they don't live within our service area. Sorry, Amy, you had a question?
Oh, sorry, just the issue of the service area is financial, not admission related, right?
So the service area, we don't look at income as long as you live in the service area. And same thing for the community grant, we don't look at income. So if you are within our service area or you are a high school graduate, regardless of income, you'll receive free tuition.
I guess my question was if we're not in your service area, because this is Mountain View Los Altos district, that kids could still attend West Valley. They just don't necessarily have the free tuition. Is that correct?
They can still attend and they can potentially also receive the community grant, which is available to any high school student, regardless of where what area they live in, regardless of income. And for them to be granted the community grant, they just have to complete the orientation and be a high school graduate. So that's a great way that they can qualify for the community grant. So there are many different ways so students can get free tuition, whether they live in our service area or not. And that's just one bucket of money. They might be eligible for other funding. So there are many opportunities. Again, like cost is really going to be, it's going to be super affordable for students.
I just put something in the chat to clarify. It sounded like, Leo, you were saying there's a few different buckets of money that students can tap into to be
Yes,
qualified to attend their first 2 years for free. And so MBLA students would not be qualified based off of being in that area. However, as first-time college students and high school graduates, they could potentially qualify for the community grant. Is that correct?
correct. Yeah, exactly.
So there's still opportunity for our students to attend West Valley for the first 2 years for free.
Yep.
And perhaps something that I share with my students often or encourage them when it comes to attending community college is being tapped into the community, whether it be through like first year experience programs or something like that. Would you be able to talk a little bit more about the opportunities you had mentioned before or other ways that students build community on campus?
Yeah, so first year experience is a great way to build community. And we're also going to have a summer bridge opportunity for students to come in. So summer bridge is a week-long program where students come in and usually a cohort of about 40 to 50 students. And they are working with our faculty, counselors. They get a tour of the campus. They meet other students. They will get assigned a mentor. So it's a great way to kind of build community with those students. And then they are with the mentor throughout the year. Our students that have gone through summer programs have very high success rate. About over 90% of the students have completed the English and math science courses during the first year, which are like good benchmarks or indicators that students will be successful in moving on, either graduating or transferring. And first year experience, it works in very similar, but first year experience works during the first year. So they'll join a cohort of about 25 students. They'll be with the same cohort for the whole year. They'll have an assigned counselor that will work with them. They take a class together with a counselor on college success. And they'll have different opportunities for different activities outside of the classroom as well as in the classroom. So there will be like field trip opportunities. So a lot of these learning communities also take students on college exploration tours. So they'll go to different universities to see what they will want to transfer to. So for example, this spring break, our Puente program is taking students to Southern California to visit some schools in that area. And they also have done local tours to like San Jose State, San Francisco, Berkeley, you name it. So that's a great way for you to get connected and make friends like during the very first semester. And that has a really high impact on students, kind of sticking through it and being able to move on to second year and then eventually transferring.
Excuse me, could you repeat what you said about
Are there any other questions?
It sounds like Irene is asking a question, but your volume is really low. Would you be able to repeat it louder?
Oh, yes, I was asking if he could repeat about the summer bridge, how it works.
Yeah, so Summer Bridge is a week-long program, and let me see if I can drop the link with our info on Summer Bridge in the chat. The students have to apply. They will get an opportunity to come to the college for it's a one-week program, so it's Monday through Thursday, and then on Friday we have a celebration to acknowledge the completion of Summer Bridge. They'll work with a counselor. They'll get assigned a mentor. So it's definitely a great opportunity for students to make friends and then kind of set themselves up for success for their first year. Let me see if I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link in the chat so you can check it out. All the information is there. The application for Summer Bridge is now open, and it's the last day to apply for priority registration for Summer Bridge is May 17th, so about 2 months. They have about 2 months to complete the application.
But is it for students who already know that they want to go to West Valley? Or is it
So it will be they will be for incoming students. So if they're not 100% sure that the West Valley College will be the school that they're coming in the fall, then they wouldn't be able to participate in the Summer Bridge. This is for incoming West Valley students, first year students.
Thanks.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, great questions. Are there any other questions? Well, again, I just want to, reiterate the invitation to come join us during open house on April 20th. I will be a great opportunity to have conversations with our faculty or different departments, see all the great things that they're doing in the classes. So if you're available on April 20th from 9:30 to 12, we'll have our open house, free parking, a bunch of free food prices, and a great way to be able to connect with our all of our faculty and deans and classified staff will be here that day. You can also talk to financial aid. You can talk to a counselor that day. There will be a lot of opportunities for you to get involved and learn more about West Valley College. So if you're already thinking about college starting for you, if you have a senior now, or if you have a junior, there's an opportunity for them to see the campus.
Didn't realize I was muted. Thank you, Leo. This was a pleasure. Again, if you have an opportunity to go and visit West Valley, it's a gorgeous campus, and be sure to attend these upcoming events. Have one of their world famous burritos. And for students who are not seniors but are interested in participating in any concurrent enrollment, make sure they check out the out-of-district course information website and speak with their school counselor, whether it be at Mountain View or at Los Altos High School, and your counselor will be able to help your student out. And yeah, will there be an on-campus application workshop at Mountain View or Los Altos for West Valley that you know of?
I don't think we have scheduled one, but if you want to reach out to our outreach office, we will be more than happy to come in and do an application workshop.
Awesome. So parents, let your students know that once we have that information available, it's going to be on the respective calendars for Mountain View and Los Altos High School's College and Career Center events calendars. So thank you so much. And again, this recording is going to be available on both websites. Have a great night, everyone.
All right, well, thank you so much. Very nice to meet you. Very nice talking to everyone. Hope you have a great evening.